Any views or opinions expressed on KUR are not necessarily those of Kutztown University, Kutztown University Student Government, Kutztown University Student Services Incorporated, KUR staff and management, or other affiliated organizations.
Kutztown Live. Kutztown University Campus's campus and community interest radio magazine. You can call Kutztown Live at 610-683-4859. And now, your host for Kutztown Live, Juliana Jablonski.
All right, welcome to KUR, Kutztown University Radio, here on the show of Kutztown Live. I'm George Fladeland here with Juliana Jablonski. Juliana, how are we doing so far today?
Doing wonderful. How are you doing this morning? Or this afternoon, I guess. It's afternoon now.
Yeah, pretty much. I don't know. It feels like morning all day. 'Cause weather's a little...
I was in here earlier this morning for Kutztown's Country.
Of course you are, and great show as that always is. We've got a great show for us today, full with all kinds of guests and things like that. But first, I'd like to introduce our guest today, Mr. John Gump from the women's volleyball team here on the campus of Kutztown University. Coach Gump, welcome to the studio.
It's good to be here.
So, Coach, I just want to get a couple things out of the way. First off, volleyball finished up not too long ago. What was kind of your outlook on the season and things like that?
Yeah, our season ended on Saturday. We had a really young team this year. We had 10 freshmen and 2 transfers, so 12 of our 21 players were new to our program. So we knew coming in that it would be a year where we would have to grow a little bit. So the hope was to see progress as the season went on, as players got more comfortable with each other, with a new system, a new style of play, a new level of play, moving from high school to the collegiate level, and we did see that. We finished the season winning 3 of our final 5 matches, increased our win total from last year significantly. So the things that we wanted to see, even though we didn't quite have the competitive success that maybe we had hoped for, we did see the progress, and I'm excited for the future.
Oh, of course. And it's definitely hard when you had a whole bunch of seniors last year. I know from my major, specifically Tori Wakely, we were talking earlier before the show, like how are these students able to balance, being a student and an athlete here at Kutztown? It seems like you guys have a great balance of that.
It's a challenge. It's something that we try to focus on. We want them to be have as normal a student experience as possible within the limitations of their time and the sacrifices they have to make for their sport. But one of the nice things about Division II is it's a nice balance. At the higher levels of Division I, I don't think that student athletes have the opportunity to integrate themselves into their campus community or campus activities the way that our students do. One of our players, Mandy Meck, is a member of Student Government Board. We have other players who are active in clubs in their majors. Carol Long's very involved with a lot of things going on in the education department. And that's something that we really emphasized and try to accommodate as much as we can.
100%. And I've been looking the past couple of days on, obviously, social media, things like that. I want to give a round of applause for your team on Senior Day, recognizing the Westchester volleyball players for, Senior Day and things like that, kind of sending them off. I thought that was a really classy gesture and really kind of speaks volume to the sportsmanship for your team.
Well, thank you. It's, something that we've done and other schools have done. Particularly a team like Westchester, that's somebody that we play twice a year. So over the course of 4 years, you see those players quite a bit. And in some respects, you feel like you get to know them a little bit. And, it was our honor, really, to take a moment and recognize their careers as well.
Oh, definitely. And going more so on your social media, the Kutztown Volleyball Twitter is probably one of the most fun follows you can probably follow here on this campus. You want to give a little kind of backstory to that?
It's just kind of developed. I try to have it reflect my personality, whatever that might be. I just, things come to me and there's a bit of a filter at times, but for the most part, you're just trying to show people what life is like. Whether it's things that go on when we're on the road, some of the silliness that happens on the bus, or things that happen in practice, or things that happen as you're going through the week preparing, and just having a little fun with it. I think sometimes you get so worried about creating an image that you forget to just be real and be who you are. And we try to have fun with what we do in our practice gym and in our program, and we try to have the same philosophy with our social media. I think you can be serious about the things that you do without being somber.
Yeah. No, definitely. And it's it definitely I don't know, I feel like sometimes there's a perception of student athletes like they're very hardcore people, and but to see like the human element, right, on social media, things like that, I think it's very fun. So some of the examples that I've seen is like you'll be cutting film and it'll be outside on the porch. And
the official porch of KUVB, yes.
Yeah, and so the one tweet that comes to mind is when it was too cold the other day. It was like 36 degrees.
Yeah, it was rough.
and you had a simple gift that was like, you know what? No, we're not going to be outside today.
Yeah, the one of the baby running down the hall and then turning around and coming back, and that was, exactly, the way I felt. I went out there and sat down and went, you know what? Not today. Although my wife, when she leaves for work every day, she looks at me like I'm an idiot sitting out there. So, but that was the one day where even for me, it was a little too cold.
Right on. And so when you go out and recruit for players for our school, do they kind of look to that, like team environment and culture? Like, how do you kind of go about recruiting? Like
the fit, I think, is really, really important because we spend so much time together in what at times is a fairly emotionally charged atmosphere. So I think it's really important that you find kids that fit the culture of your program and fit well together. And I think right now we have that probably better than we've had it in quite a few years. And we worked really hard with this group that we brought in last year, trying to make sure that not only were they good players who could help us on the floor, but were they the kind of people who would fit and add to the personality of our program.
And how do you kind of create a culture? Is it kind of with the senior leaders? Is it coaching staff? Obviously, it's like a whole team aspect.
It's a combination of things. Obviously your leadership, and it doesn't always have to be seniors. I think sometimes we get caught up in thinking that leadership is always about the oldest people in the program. But I think there's a role of leadership for everybody in your program. Certain situations call for different styles of leadership, and sometimes, a voice from somebody that you don't normally hear from is exactly what needs to be heard in a certain situation. So one of the things that we try to stress is that everybody has a role to play in our program. And there's a way for people to contribute, and there's a way for people to bring value and get value, regardless of the amount of playing time they might be getting.
Right on. And going back to that, I guess, culture aspect with what you guys create, like, I thought it was really cool and really funny when you guys dressed up during Halloween, just like a simple practice to like, you get to dress up and, we get to show our, personality, things like that.
And some of the kids tried to go through practice wearing their costumes, which was interesting. Some got rid of it right away. Others hung in there a little bit. But, those are the kind of things that I think, you just want to bring a little fun to what you're doing because it's a long season. I mean, we're in the middle of August and you're going until the middle of November. And if you can't find some things to kind of lighten what you're doing a little bit, it can get long.
Oh, especially. And so now we're in the off season. What are some goals for your team coming up, going into next season and looking for that?
Well, right now, just giving them an opportunity to rest and recharge a little bit, focus on the remaining part of the semester from an academic standpoint, making sure that anything that they may have fallen a little bit behind on, they get themselves caught up with, and then, enjoying the semester break, and then coming back in January ready to get to work in the weight room.
Right on, Coach. Well, thank you so much for coming down today for Kutztown Live. It's been a pleasure, and thanks for all of your insight about Kutztown women's volleyball team.
All right, thank you.
All right. We're going to head off to some messages, but this has been Kutztown University Radio, KU Live.
Listen every Sunday evening at 5 p.m. for Kim, Scott, and the Block Party Radio. You will hear the best in urban, smooth, Latin jazz, and the jazz standards that you love. Hear it here at www.kutztown.edu/KUR. KUR, the radio voice of Kutztown University.
Those big shot stations with the big shot budgets have all sorts of ways to gauge listenership to their stations. KUR doesn't have that kind of budget. Our mission is serving you, and with that comes limited resources. But one way you can give back is simply letting us know you're out there. That's right, whether you're listening to this right now at 3 p.m. or 3 a.m., call us now, leave a message, and let us know you're listening and whether or not you like our programming.
This is John. I'm calling from Slatington, Pennsylvania. So the lava lamp is on, and I'm listening.
Hey, just wanted to say we're listening here in Bartow, Pennsylvania. Thanks for the radio station. My name is Rita. I live in Midland, Texas. I just want to let you know how much I enjoy your station. It's relaxing. The music is great, and it just reminds me of just good times.
I watch and listen to your station many times during the week, and I enjoy it. I live in the borough. Thank you very much.
This is Bob from Kutztown. Keep up the good work. I enjoy listening to your station, especially when you play mixed music like big band and jazz.
Hey, KUR, it's Jim. I listen to you guys whenever I drive through campus. I have it set to my preset on my car, but I always try to tune in. If I have to pick somebody up on campus or something, I always tune in as well. And keep up the good work.
Hi, I just want to let you know that we really enjoy your radio station. We're at work right now. It's Linda, Sue, and Mary. Say something on the radio about us.
Okay, Linda, Sue, and Mary, I'm saying something on the air about you. Thanks for listening.
That's all we ask. Calling us will not put you on any junk mailing lists. It'll only go to help us gauge where people are listening from. So give us a call now and let us know where you're calling from, how you listen to KUR, and feel good about yourself for helping out a non-profit community radio station. 610-683-4059. One more time, 610-683-4059. Please take a minute to let us know you care. Thanks for listening to the radio voice of Kutztown University, KUR.
Welcome back to Kutztown Live, Kutztown University's campus and community talk show. You just heard from George Fladeland and Coach John Gump, the coach of the women's volleyball here at KU. Up next, we will be hearing from KUSGB Dean's Liaison from the College of Business. We will also then be hearing from Sergeant Terry Hill, and we also have interviews from Nick Imbesi and Councilman Jason Ruff. So be sure to stay tuned for all that. Up next, we have KUSGB's interview. Here it comes.
My name is Michael O'Mara, and I am the special guest host of Kutztown Live. I'm also the PR chair for student government, and today I have two wonderful people in the studio with me. I have Michael Province.
Hey, guys.
And I have Mike Jacobs.
Hey, how's it going?
They're here of student government to talk about what they're doing in student government and maybe how you can get involved. So, Mike, who are you?
I'm Michael Jacobs. I'm part of the student government board. I'm the Dean's Liaison, and I have a marketing major with a minor in economics.
What's Dean's Liaison mean?
Dean's Liaison, it means we bring the problems of the students and we bring them forth to the dean. Anything that we see that needs to be done in the college, we bring it forth to the dean.
That's a better answer than I would have came up with. I don't even know what the word liaison means, so that's fantastic.
It's think of it as a person in the middle who you have two sides.
Oh, Mike Jacobs, the middleman.
Yeah, I'm just pretty much the middleman.
And Prov, Mike Prov, what are you about?
I'm a senior here at Kutztown University. I'm double majoring in accounting and finance, and this is my third semester on student government board in the College of Business.
Okay, College of Business. So we got some business people here.
Hey, can I say, this is kind of weird that like three Michaels on an interview right now, like Mike O'Mara.
We got Mike Cubed on the radio.
Yeah. Mike Cubed. Too many Michaels, I swear.
Well, one of my questions that you're here for a reason, right? Yeah. What have you said you communicate with the dean.
Correct.
What kind of problems are you bringing to the dean?
Well, currently we actually had a meeting with the dean that we brought forth a couple of issues.
Let's hear
we're
'em.
talking about the building. We think the building in DFran needs to be updated.
DeFrancesco.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
DFran's, yeah, of course.
Mm-hmm.
And then we also had an issue with the CPA CFP track. If you don't know what that is, it's Certified Public Accountant, or to become a Certified Financial Planner. That's
Mhm.
one of the choices you can make in the College of Business. We also have an issue with advisement that we brought up to her. We also wanted to bring up a possible economics major into the College of Business. So there was just a few things. There's definitely a lot more that we can talk about here in a little bit, but those are some of the sampling things.
Prov, I hear you're pretty well versed in those new tracks. Why don't you talk about them a little bit?
I'm pretty well versed in them, so I'll start off with talking about the CFP track, which stands for Certified Financial Planning. So basically, with the CFP track, there's still the finance track, but now there's another track that, upon graduation, you will be able to sit for the Certified Financial Planner test, which is a very prestigious certification in the finance world. And if you have any questions about that, I'd say the point of contact would be Professor Kramer, who's the assistant chair for the College of Business. And then for the CPA, we actually currently don't have a CPA track at Kutztown in the College of Business. But what we're trying to put forth with Dean Carroll is to create a grid sheet so students that do want to go for the CPA can track and be on track with that in 4 to 5 year periods, depending on what pace the student wants to go.
Now, I know that when we had our meeting with the dean, you and her were actually going pretty back and forth about a double majoring with the new spreadsheets that you wanted to get out.
Yeah, so in the College of Business, a lot of students strive to do more, and a lot of them double major. So me being a finance and accounting double major, it's very hard going back and forth and filling out 2 grid sheets, because 1 grid sheet is hard enough to fill out. Hopefully with the new Gen Ed system putting in place, it will make it a lot easier for students to do that. So with the double majoring grid sheets, it's hard enough to try to fill out 1 grid sheet, and we know students have a very large problem with filling those out. And especially with double major going back and forth between grid sheets, it's hard to make sure that they're 100% correct and that you're on the right track.
Yeah.
So what we were talking to Dean Carroll about is putting forth double major grid sheets for the most popular double majors, like marketing and management, finance and accounting, stuff like that, in the near future.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so that's something that I'm assuming, since it's the most popular, that's a pretty big demand, or at least a large concern within your college.
Yes.
Because I'm not very well versed in the College of Business.
Because you're one of those people that have an issue with that, right? Since you're a double major in finance and accounting.
Yes, so basically being a double major, you have to figure out where your classes fit in the other grid sheet, which can be really difficult, especially if your advisor, isn't well versed in the matter.
Yeah.
So having that double grid sheet would be a lot simpler for students, and I'm sure it would put a lot more students on the right track and encourage them to actually go for that double major once they see really how it's not that much more work to get another degree at Kutztown University.
I mean, I hope so. I hope so. But have you, someone who is double majoring, have you experienced a significant issue while working with 2 different sheets?
I really had an issue when I was a computer science major before, I was in the College of Business. Yeah. And when I did switch, I knew I wanted to be a double major. So filling out the grid sheets was very hard for me. Thankfully, I had a really good advisor who was able to go through each and every one with me, but I had to schedule multiple advisement appointments to go about that.
And so you want this initiative, hopefully, prevents someone from going through that again, because that's probably a lot of stress.
Yeah,
I only a double minor, and it's a lot. That's still a lot of stress. I don't have a whole lot to do in that regard, but if you don't have an engaged advisor trying to actively help you, that can kill you right around advisement time, because it's right now advisement time. We picked last week, but right now it's advisement time, and to be someone like a double major and to not know what the heck they're doing, and to be someone just transferring out of a major into man, that would be rough.
Yeah. And advisement, they expect you to come with your grid sheets filled.
Yeah.
And if you're not well versed on filling out the grid sheets,
I don't have that. I hear that a lot. No,
you don't.
My advisor helps me.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we start from scratch and go, okay, you have this, you have this, you have this. And then I hear sometimes that these advisors, business advisors anyway, they're like, you got to have everything done. Science advisors do the same thing over in LES.
Yeah, I'm expected as a, at least with my advisor to come ready, and if I don't have it ready, that my appointment will not happen, and I have to come back or schedule at a different time.
Mm-hmm. How do you feel about that?
Not too well.
It's kind of stressful because, before I picked my classes for next semester, I was trying to make sure, because I transferred here. So
from where?
Gettysburg. So Harrisburg Area Community College, but the Gettysburg branch down by York. If you have any idea where that is.
I do.
You do?
York's pretty common, and people know where it is.
Yeah, I'm just making sure, because there's a lot of people that probably don't know where it is. But yeah, I transferred after 2 years there, so after transferring here, I didn't know where my classes would fit into my grid sheet, and I was just really confused, because there is something online on the MyKU that you can use, the academic requirements, that gives you everything that you satisfy in, let's say, the university core or the what's another one of them? University core or diversity.
Cultural diversity.
Cultural diversity.
Writing intensive.
Yeah, all of your writing intensive. So
critical thinking.
Mm-hmm. So when I came to mine, and I was just wondering, I was like, so I do not know where my classes fit, and she's like, well, you should, and I'm just like, well, I don't. I transferred.
Mm-hmm.
So that's one of the issues that I wanted to bring up to the dean. So that's one issue that she was passionate about, and especially since we're getting this new Gen Ed track in it. Well, yeah, not track, but sheet for incoming students.
Pretty much an overhaul.
Yeah, it's just a redo of all the Gen Eds, which I think it makes it a lot easier to do. I think. In my eyes, we're
trying to get someone on to talk about that, because that's a really important topic. That's just it's happening. It's not happening until next year, but that's going to change. I feel like it's going to change a lot of stuff. It might not feel that way to the incoming freshmen, but man, I would love not to take as many Gen Eds. I would love to have a system in place where I would take Gen Eds that kind of fit into what I wanted, not necessarily what someone else wanted.
Yeah,
that'd be incredible.
I think the new Gen Ed system is definitely going to open up a lot of new doors for students currently here and incoming students, because they get a more selection, and they're more open to more classes.
Mm-hmm. Now, we're going to go a little, I don't want to say off topic, but we're going to change it up a little bit.
Yeah.
We're all student government here.
Yeah.
I have my own reasons for joining.
Mm-hmm.
Prav, why did you join student government?
I joined student government because I wanted to be an advocate for the students, and not only that, I saw problems in my college, but I didn't know how to go about actually fixing or trying to solve them. So me and my friend Sierra Huckensers, she's graduated already, but we decided to run both for student government board, and fortunately enough, I got the opportunity to be elected to become a member of the board, and have been a member ever since. So like I said before, this is my third semester, and it was probably the best decision of my college career.
Yeah, it kind of shifts your mentality a little bit into this sucks, or this is a problem. And I encountered that a lot as just a normal student, like, oh, I don't like this. Okay, well, do something about it. And you did. So, I mean, hey, it turns out, seems like it's pretty well you're here getting interviewed at Kutztown University Radio.
Yeah.
Mr. Mike Jacobs.
Yeah, what's up, Mr. Mike O'Mara?
Why'd you join? You're brand new to student government. Why did you run?
Yeah, this is actually my first semester being on, and I'm already Dean's Liaison. So
you're already doing it, man.
That was very, yeah.
Hungry.
But, what's up?
I said hungry.
Yeah. But literally, I did not do much of anything when I first came here to Kutztown. I was on a few clubs, like I was on astronomy club, and then I was on, I'm on the e-board for entrepreneurship club, and pretty much I didn't do much anything else, and I wanted to get more involved, and I think I saw one of the mass emails for student government board, and I was like, you know what, let's give it a shot. I mean, like, I need more stuff to do. I want to be involved. I want to know people and know some of the problems around here on campus. So I thought student government board would be a great way to get into that game. So that's why I joined. And at first, I was lucky enough to get elected, so I was happy that I got on the board. And the people were welcoming, very welcoming. Province over here is pretty cool dude to be on the college business. So I'm glad to have him.
Yeah. You're not too bad yourself.
Oh, thanks, Prov.
Mike and Mike.
And Mike.
Mike and Mike and Mike. You know, when I think about it, I mean, there's a lot of reasons why I joined. It kind of ties into. I didn't join with a friend, but I joined with someone who was a bit overwhelmed. I wasn't necessarily involved in too many things. I was involved here, but I was overwhelmed by the amount of news that I saw on this campus, the amount of stuff that happens here. Student government for me kind of hones that, helps me focus a little bit, helps me understand my classes, helps me understand my personal life, helps me understand my professional life and academic life, and helps me focus on a lot of the stuff that happens on our campus. If a person has a concern that comes to my attention, I'm focusing on that.
Yeah.
So, like for instance, a mental health kiosk that's been all over the place because of student government. I've made significant connections through the health center. I made significant connections in the president's office, significant connections in the dean's office. I've met people I wouldn't even dreamed of. We had dinner with the president. I didn't think I was doing that when I got here. So like this place, this organization offers you so many opportunities, and it just completely completely altered my mindset and how I approached pretty much everything. So I mean, I have a lot of what does student government do? I'm like, well, my question is what student government can't do, you know? And that's a really crappy. That's vague. That's vague, but it's kind of like growing up. It really helps you open your eyes and focus.
I think student government board. When I first got on, I went to one meeting before the end of the school year just to see how everything worked. Yeah. And then the next semester, when I had my first meeting, I really didn't know how things were going to run. But every single week, I saw myself maturing. I saw issues around on campus. I started to become more well-versed on the issues.
You were active about it.
I was networking with, officials on campus and finding out even more information about Kutztown University. And overall, I just feel like my sense of Kutztown pride and Golden Bear pride has skyrocketed.
Hashtag it's good to be golden.
Good to be golden.
It's good to be golden.
And that's coming from the heart. It is good to be golden. And I'm really glad that we all got the opportunity to not only be on student government board, not only to be on this KUR radio show, but
Kutztown Live, Tuesdays, 2 to 4 p.m.
But just to be a Kutztown student, I'm very proud of that, and I wear it right on my chest.
That's phenomenal, man. Holy crap. I don't know if I'm allowed to say that, but holy crap. I mean, I would ask you this question about nominations, about elections, but I know more. I'm not trying like I'm the PR chair.
Yeah,
so.
Seriously, you're the one that has all that detail, so it wouldn't even help to even ask us.
I'm a plug it, and you guys can back me up on this. Student government nominations just opened up on Monday at 12, and they're going to run all the way through the 21st of this month, November, until 12 on K United, 12 p.m. You go on there, you can sign up, and you kind of give a little spiel about what you think you can do on student government board, and then a week later, after Thanksgiving's wrapped up, that Monday, the 27th, you got elections, and that's nerve-wracking. I mean, Mike's over here biting his nails, and he's probably thinking about that process. He's just thinking about running.
Hey, man. Don't judge.
But we have like 9 seats available right now. I mean,
yeah, we do have a lot, especially since there was how many just dropped out.
Unfortunately, some people took on the obligation and ran and got elected and didn't take it seriously.
Yeah,
which is not what the students need at this university.
They need representation. 250 plus students we're representing on that board each. And that's a responsibility. It's not just about you. It's not your voice. It's not your agenda. It's their voice, their agenda.
Exactly.
You got to consider that. It's a lot of responsibility. And once you take that position, once you nominate, once you get that position, you got to take it seriously.
Of course.
But we have like 9 positions. I know there's a new student rep position. There's an at-large position, which means you're undeclared for liberal arts and sciences. There's positions available in that college. Business, I believe.
There's 2 spots in the College of Business.
2 spots in the College of Business.
We need people, and it'd be great if you would run.
And if you're on the edge about it and you're listening right now, please, please, please go on, nominate yourself, and get in that campaign.
You'll see that link all over the place. We'll have promo tables all over the place. I mean, we're going to be everywhere. We'll be all over social media. If you don't already follow Kutztown University Student Government, hashtag KUSGB on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. Like, we're there. And we're consistently posting and making sure that each and every one of you is informed and aware of what's going on your campus as best to our ability. And if you ever want to visit us, a lot of people think that our office is like no, it's yours. It's your office, quite literally. MSU 196. That's where you go. And you'll be able to see us, talk to us, interact with us. Our e-board lives there. They sleep there. They eat there. I don't know what else they do, but they do almost everything else in that office. They're there way too much. I'm concerned for their health.
2 doors down from the KU radio station.
2 doors down from Kutztown University Radio.
Check out Mike Cubed.
Yeah, Mike Cubed.
We'll be there.
God. No, we also have weekly meetings Tuesdays, 5 to 7 p.m. in MSU 223, the formal dining room. I don't know if that terminology helps people understand where we're at.
Yeah, because I feel like a lot of people don't know where that is.
You know that big room in the MSU? Yeah, we're near there.
To
the right of it.
To the right of it. That's where we're at.
Right,
multi-purpose room, yeah.
Yeah, multi-purpose room.
Right by the Cub. We're tucked away in that corner.
If you're walking to the Cub, instead of making a right, just go straight.
Go straight, and then you'll see us 5 p.m. on Tuesdays, and we're there. We're talking about things that are happening on your campus, and we're actively engaging in competent discussion.
Yes,
that's what we're about.
If you're going to go to Cub at 5, just get a to-go box. Come into our meeting. Feel free to sit down, enjoy your meal, and
just listen.
Listen.
All right.
And voice your opinion.
Bingo. All right. So, my name is Michael O'Mara, Mike Jacobs, Michael Province, Prov. Thank you for coming by the KUR studios to talk Dean's Liaison, to talk business, to talk Kutztown University student government. It's a pleasure, and you're always freaking welcome.
Hey, thank you. It was great.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
For all things Kutztown Live, be sure to visit our Facebook page, at Kutztown Live on Facebook. Use the hashtag Kutztown Live, and you can find it all over the KUR social media. Follow KUR, an award-winning radio station, on Twitter to receive exciting daily content delivered straight to your newsfeed. You'll discover diverse music, breaking news, and engaging student DJ content. Visit twitter.com/KURadio to tweet along. Remember to use hashtag KURadio on social media. We are the radio voice of Kutztown University, KUR.
Good afternoon and welcome to Kutztown Live, Kutztown University's campus and community talk show. I'm your host, Juliana Jablonski, and I'm here today with Sergeant Terry Hill from the Reading Army Recruiting Office. Hello and welcome to Kutztown Live.
How are you doing?
I'm doing wonderful. How are you this afternoon?
I am fine. Unfortunately, it's a little bit of rain, but hey, what's is not to like?
So, do you want to start off by telling us a little bit about who you are?
I am Sergeant Hill. I am a United States Army Reserve and active duty recruiter at a Reading recruiting office. I've been doing this for about almost 5 years now, and I enjoy doing it. I enjoy getting out and talking to the students, especially in high schools and in college. Generally high schools, because students tend to not figure out what they want to do after they graduate from high school. So I kind of tell them there is life after high school. And if they choose not to join the military, then I try to point them in, okay, there's your college option. These are some colleges that you can go to, based off of the tuition.
All right. And what are some of the benefits of joining?
Some of the benefits of joining depends on, we have the active duty Army and we also have the Army Reserves. Generally, the Army Reserves is for students that want to go to school full-time and still serve their country part-time, and that's where the Reserve is 1 weekend a month and 2 weeks out of the year, and active duty is generally full-time. They say we work 7 days a week. We're 24 hours, a soldier 24 hours a day, but generally I don't work 7 days a week. It's generally 5 or 6 days a week. And some of the benefits is you get your tuition paid for school. You get a steady, secure paycheck, so you don't have to worry about having to find a job. You have a consistent job. And then the most beneficial one is the medical care. I think I had up to 7 different surgeries, and not one penny came out of my pocket. So it was all taken care of. And with the medical care, you name it, optometry, dental, physicals, laboratory, you name it, the Army takes care of all of that. And then, again, like I said, it's a steady paycheck. Generally for the reservists, they want to go to school full time, and they don't have a general idea how to pay for their tuition. So therefore, that's where the Army Reserves comes in and says, okay, if you go to school full time and you just, go to training 1 weekend a month and 2 weeks out of the year, our reward to you is help pay for your college so you can go to school full time and concentrate on that.
And was there anything specific that made you want to join the Army?
I was one of those students that didn't kind of figure out, okay, what I'm going to do with my life. So I tried. I went to high school, and I got accepted into a college, and I said, I got to do another 4 to 6 years of college. So I did 2 years of college, and I went and talked to my local recruiter, and he said, you could come in a higher rank, and we can pay for the rest of your schooling, so you don't have to worry about taking loans or worry about grants. What I did is I finished my school while I was in the military. The only thing I paid for was $54, and that was for my diploma.
Wow.
And it is accredited college, University of South Florida. Go Bulls. Sorry about that, Kutztown.
Got to throw that in there really quick.
So I went to school and I got my bachelor's degree, and now I'm currently trying to work on my master's degree.
Oh, wow. For what? A master's in what, if you don't mind me asking?
Criminal justice.
Oh, wow. Nice.
Criminal justice. I got my master's in criminal justice. I really got my bachelor's in social psychology. Okay. So now I'm trying to tie them all together because one day I'll be retiring, and then knowing me, I still want to work, so I want to get another job.
All right. And what do you think you'd do with that?
With my master's degree? Hopefully I might work for Homeland Security, or originally I want to work with FEMA. I can't work with the FBI yet. I'm a little too old, but that's okay.
All right. And back to just the Army recruiting, what are some of the opportunities that arise from being a part of it?
Being part of recruiting, it's a tough job, but it's rewarding at the same time. Not only do I consider the ambassador in my community, but everywhere I go, if people see me in uniform, they always walk up to me and say, "Thank you for your service." To me, that means a lot, because sometimes you do your job and you just feel like you're not appreciated. And when strangers just walk up to me saying, "Thank you for serving," or "Thank you for what you do," it makes me feel good. And also, I look at the other benefits besides the compliments and the appreciation. I look at the fact that it's a steady paycheck. I'm able to go to school. I have I don't know if I should say this, but I'm able to pay for my house, my car. I'm able to do things that I didn't think I would ever do. Mm-hmm. 8 years ago, I went to Germany for 3.5 years, oh, wow. And while I was there, I traveled to Italy, Paris, and United Kingdom, and I would never thought I'd go across the ocean to see places like that. I always saw it on TV. But I never thought I would get a chance to travel. So being in the Army has been very rewarding, not only financially, but also allowed me to challenge myself into things I didn't think I would be able to accomplish today. And one was the opportunity to go back to school and work on my master's, get promoted while I was in, go do some traveling to countries that I never thought I'd get a chance to visit, an opportunity just to talk with people and to share my experiences with them.
And if someone is kind of on the fence, if they're thinking about joining, what would you kind of say to them?
I would say do your research. If you have an interest in the military and you're not sure which branch you want to go to, I would say talk to every branch. Because at the end of the day, it's what is going to be a perfect fit for you. Mm-hmm. And I understand we deal with students that says, well, my dad was in the Navy, my uncle was in the Marine Corps, and they want to go ahead and do that, and that's fine. Just make sure you research every branch and make sure it's a good fit for you. At the end of the day, because you're going to be wearing the uniform, you're going to be representing that branch in particular. So at the end of the day, you want to make sure that's where you want to be and you're going to be happy with that.
And if someone has any more questions, or if they want to get in contact with you or the Reading recruiting office in general, how would we go about doing that?
If you want to get in touch with me, you know where the Veterans Office is up here in MSU. I have my business card there, but my phone number is 484-252-1489. You can call me. I have my phone with me 24 hours a day. Even if you just want to ask questions, how the process works, how it starts, how can I help? If you need more information about college, if you need more information about doing the training on weekends, because everybody assumed that you're going to be training every day of the week. No, it's just one weekend a month. It's Saturday and a Sunday. So if you want more information, please give me a call. I'm always available.
All right. Well, are there any more final thoughts or things you'd like the listeners this afternoon to know just about the Army or recruiting in general?
Yes, there's one thing we are actively trying to seek, and that's college students that are looking to become officers in the military. We do have that options available. So if you are a college student and you're looking to be an officer, please give me a call. And I look forward to working with you or hearing from you soon.
And what would being an officer entail? I know you can't go into all details about it because you could probably tell me about that for hours, but just a little bit of a general idea.
An officer is set up to be a supervisor, and his or her job is to take care of their soldiers and to make sure their welfare and everything's being provided for them. So you're starting it from the top of, how would you say, the top of the mountain already by being an officer. And what that entails, you have to have a bachelor's degree. That's one of the credentials, that you have to have a bachelor's degree. So, or if you're coming close to it and you're about to graduate and you want to become an officer in the military, please give us a call. I can give you more in details. I can tell you how the pay works, much money you're going to make, what are the other benefits to doing it. I wish I could be here, but we're on time, so I wish I could tell you more about it. But if you call me, we can sit down and I'll tell you more about it.
All right. Well, thank you so much for stopping into the KUR studios this afternoon. And thank you for all your service and all the things you've been doing. And it was great to have you, and maybe we'll get to hear a little bit more from you later in the year or next spring.
Oh, I would love to come back and talk again.
That'd be great. All
right. Thank you very much.
Thank you, and we'll be back with more of Kutztown Live.
Tune in to Notice Latinas Sundays from 1 to 2 here on the radio voice, KUR, for the best in Latino news and commentary and music as well. It's Notice Latinas Sundays from 1 to 2 right here on KUR, the radio voice of Kutztown University.
Okay, we're on the phone right now with former Kutztown University SGB President Nicholas Imbesi, who past few years has gone on to do some wonderful things, and just yesterday won a local seat down in West Reading. Welcome, Nick Imbesi, to the show.
Hey, thanks a lot, Mike. I really appreciate it.
Okay, what year did you graduate from KU? I can't. It starts to all fuzz into my mind after a while.
Yeah, it does for me too.
Yeah.
I graduated in May of 2014.
May of 2014, and your final year, you were SGB president here, correct?
I was. That's correct. Yes.
All right.
Best years of my life.
Right. Now, what was your major? Was it political science?
Public administration.
Public administration. Okay. And since then, you've been living the dream in the world of public administration. Tell us what you've been doing the past couple of years.
Well, I currently have been working for almost, it's going to be 3 years now this January. I'm a deputy in the Recorder of Deeds office of Berks County for Frederick Sheeler. So I'm one of his right-hand people. And then I was appointed in February of this year to fill a vacancy at the Borough Council for West Reading. Now, state law is once you are appointed to fill a vacancy, you must be elected at the next election cycle no matter what. So my term has 2 years to it. The seat that I was filling has 2 years to it left. So I ran for the 2-year term in this last election. So that's and I am very grateful for the residents of West Reading because they elected me overwhelmingly to the seat.
That's wonderful. Yeah, I saw some of the numbers yesterday, and they were quite impressive. Tell us a little bit about the whole the whole feeling of getting into local politics like that. Was it a lot involved in doing that? Was there some challenges that you had?
Well, I think it depends on what local government position you're running for and what town or borough you're doing it. Since West Reading is an up-and-coming borough, we have a lot of development going on in the borough. We have a lot of revitalization going on in the borough. We have a very successful Main Street program, and we have a booming business district in the borough. So people really want to sit at the table because you can really make a name for yourself. So it was very competitive running for this election, and honestly, it got outright dirty. Now, I refuse to do any negative campaigning, but there was court cases filed against people on the ballot.
Wow.
I had the DA's office call me for just a minor infraction that took place back at the primary. Something that we corrected on the spot, and people kept pursuing it. Opponents kept pursuing it until the DA's office had to call me.
Wow.
So it was outright nasty. But I did mailers. I knocked on hundreds of doors. I talked to the business leaders and business owners in the borough. I just went out there and I brought a positive message of, these are our neighbors that we're running against. So when all this election's over, we still have to live next door to each other, So we should all be a lot more civil with each other. And that was just my general message. when people would bring up the dirt that was being flung around all over the place.
Yeah, that's kind of mind-boggling if you think about it, that, such a local election can get that dirty. You can only imagine then how bad things get on the state and federal level. So.
Yeah, it is. I honestly think this is a result of what is happening at the state and federal level.
Interesting.
Boiling down to the local level, which is actually quite a shame.
Interesting.
Because even at the local level, political party really doesn't matter that much.
Right.
I had quite a few Republicans, and by the way, for people listening, I am a Democrat.
Mm-hmm.
I had quite a few Republicans tell me I was the first Democratic yard sign they ever had on their front lawn.
That's awesome.
Because in these local elections, politics, the political party doesn't matter all that much. Because really we're doing what's best for the town, for the borough.
Right.
So it isn't something that should be so politicalized, but it is.
So West Reading is a great little town. It's about a half hour southwest of Kutztown. So tell us a little bit about some of what you ran on down there, and you said about your positive message. What was your positive message for West Reading?
Well, the positive message was we have a booming town.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if we look at the town that was 10, 15, 20 years ago to what it is today, we have made some significant progress, and I really want to keep the borough on that path. We have some major development taking place in the borough, and we need to have people sitting at the table that know how to make sure all of this is orchestrated in the correct manner. And I believe that I have what it takes, and I believe my running mates that I was running with have what it takes. We have a parking problem, and the parking problem is because of the success that we've had in our business district. We need to solve that once and for all. We need to create more of a community that's unified, and this election is a perfect example of just the wounds that we need to sew back up, and we really need to have a community that's unified, because we're only going to be able to move together to make West Reading better. It's not only a few of us. We all have to move together to get it done.
Right.
The borough itself, it has about 4,300 people in it. Once we have two major developments taking place. Currently, the VF Outlet, some of that development is in our borough, and we have a development called the Narrow Fabric site. Used to be old knitting mills. They are being turned into luxury apartments. So, our population could increase by 100, 200 people once those apartments are up and running. So it's really exciting, and the Reading Hospital, which is now Tower Health, is in our borough, the largest employer in Berks County,
mm-hmm.
and so there's a lot of exciting things going on in the borough, and I'm really excited to be a part of it.
Well, that's absolutely fantastic. So your term is what, for 2 years, 4 years? How does that?
It's for 2 years.
2 years.
2 years.
Okay.
I ran for the 2-year term. Yeah.
Do you see yourself moving up anywhere? Are we going to see a mayor Imbesi sometime soon? Or
well, honestly, a lot of people are asking that question about the mayor, and
right.
Actually, West Reading has a strong council, weak mayor system. So if you really want to get something done,
okay,
you really want to make a change, you want to be at the council table as a council person and not as the mayor. Now, the mayor oversees our police department, and of course, it's like the figurehead of the borough.
Right.
But it's the same setup as what Kutztown is as well. It's
right.
a strong council, weak mayor system. So I would never really have any aspirations to be the mayor, because if I want to get things done, your best bet is to be a council person who has voting power.
That's fantastic. That's really fantastic. And what would you say some of the? I mean, you mentioned some of the big issues in West Reading and parking, and Reading, or now Tower Health being within the borough limits. What are some of your other longer term goals for West Reading, or for your own political aspirations, so to speak?
Well, sure. I'll take that as a two-part question.
Sure.
For your first part, I would really like to see commerce expanded in the borough even further.
Okay.
We have our borough is about 1 square mile. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Right.
And so our tax base is limited, and as police cost rises, as fire department cost rises, as public works and pension programs rises, we really don't want to tax out our residents. And West Reading does have one of the highest tax rates in the county.
Mm-hmm.
But when you look at what our tax rate is offering, it's actually, you're getting a good bang for your buck for the taxes you're paying to the borough. But I really want to expand our business section. So I really like, right now we have Penn Avenue, and then on the one side we have Cherry Street, and the other side we have Reading Avenue. And I would really like to make them into a commercial mixed residential area, so we could expand some commerce. I would really like to make Cherry Street into something really cool where a lot of cities and towns are experimenting with like walking fairs or outdoor walking and shopping and things like that. And I would really like to look into what we could do with Cherry Street, because I think it would be perfect for it. So I really want to expand commerce, because we are one of the municipalities that have the business privilege tax. Now, municipalities can't put that in place now anymore, but you are grandfathered in, and West Reading is grandfathered in. So we do have the business privilege tax. So I really want to expand commerce so we can try to alleviate some of the taxes on our residents. To answer your second question, I do have goals. It's no secret that I am homosexual, and I really, truly would like to be the first gay governor of Pennsylvania. I think that would be something that is a goal in my life, just to say and just to show that everyone is equal in the United States of America, no matter what some bigoted people might say. So that is my total aspiration. Will we get there? I don't know. Maybe someone might beat me out to it, but it is my goal. So
that's fantastic.
I'm going to work hard at doing that, but I don't want people to think that I'm just using people as stepping stones. Any position I have or any job I have, I will hold with integrity and honesty, and I will do the best I can while I'm in that position.
That's fantastic. Nicholas Imbesi, I want to thank you so much. I know you're a busy man, so I'm going to let you get back and to your busy day and get some free time in there for your lunch before you got to go back to work. But congratulations once again, winning last night's seat on the West Reading Borough Council. I know it's going to be a great couple of years ahead for the town of West Reading and for you.
Thank you so much, Mike. I really appreciate it. It's good talking to you.
Good talking to you, too. Have a great day, okay?
You too. Thank you.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Women comprise 51% of America's population. Tune in to 51% here on KUR. 51%, a show produced by women and for women, discussing women's issues and topics.
Thursdays at 7:30 a.m. here on the radio voice, KUR. Okay, and now it's time for our second guest of the show. We've got former KUR member and show host Jason Ruff on the air. He hosted a great show a number of years back on KUR called Making Waves, and he just made some waves up in northern Lehigh County, where he won election to Slatington Borough Council. A few minutes ago we talked to Nick Imbesi, who won West Reading Borough Council. We have another KU alum that's doing great things in the world of politics. Jason, congratulations on winning up there in Slatington.
Thank you, Mike. I really appreciate it.
So, you hosted a show here a number of years ago on KUR. Really didn't discuss politics too much, except when it had to deal with whatever topic you were discussing that particular day. But what really it prompted you to say, this is something that I want to do? I want to get into local town politics.
When I think about politics, sometimes it's a little overwhelming, and it's certainly a charged topic. But the difference for people really is made, I believe anyway, it begins at the local level.
Mm-hmm.
So, you're able to really, as a local politician, you're able to really make a difference in your community and for the citizens of a municipality.
Right. So you wound up in Slatington. I know you have you own a diner up there, which is fantastic. You want to talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, I bought the building and opened the restaurant. It's almost 3 years now, and things are going well.
Uh-huh.
Community has certainly responded in a positive way to such a positively charged business as what we've created.
Mm-hmm.
So it's I can't thank the community enough for the support that we've received.
So what prompted you to get on the ballot and try to run for a council seat? Was it just your love of the community, or what? Did you have particular issues that you wanted to address in Slatington? Would paint us the path of how you wound up where you are now?
Yeah, actually, I was sought out by some community leaders.
Okay.
And I believe that I was sought out because of the positive mission and positive vision that we were trying to create with the business, with the diner.
Mm-hmm.
There were community leaders that really saw me out there trying to make a difference in Slatington. Slatington has some. They definitely have some goals to meet as far as local revitalization, and I had started working and partnering with the Chamber of Commerce in our area.
Mhm.
And so there were local leaders that really did see that I was already taking steps towards making a difference in my community. So they sought me out and asked me to apply for an appointment.
Mhm.
So I have been a member of Borough Council since April of earlier this year.
Okay.
And so that appointment is only good until the next municipal election.
Right.
And so I have enjoyed it so much, and I really do feel like I've made a difference already in just a couple of months that I've been on.
Mhm.
That it only seemed, like a logical thing to do, to run again for the seat that I currently have.
Right.
So I needed to run, and I needed to win, and I partnered with some other people in the community to run for some of the other open seats. So we ran as a team, and we were very successful.
Well, congratulations. That's absolutely fantastic. So, for any folks not familiar too much with Slatington issues or politics, it's in far northern Lehigh County, almost bordering Carbon County. What are some of the, just out of curiosity, what are some of the things that's important to you? Is it businesses in the area, or is it community or safety? What are some what makes Slatington tick?
Yeah, some people would say that I'm committed to businesses being on Main Street, but that isn't, that's just the start of revitalization efforts. I really am committed to broader revitalization, not just on Main Street, but elsewhere in the community. And so that is really one of my main initiatives being on council, is to really make some revitalization happen. The other thing is, most people up in this area anyway are aware of our budget issues right now. And I suspect that, many municipalities go through periods of time where they struggle with budget issues.
Sure.
And so we're in that moment right now where we struggle with that. And so the other thing that I'm really committed to is for us, really getting on a straight and narrow path as far as our finances are concerned, so that we can afford to do some of these revitalization things.
That's fantastic. So do you see this as a stepping stone to future political aspirations? I asked that question to Nicholas Imbesi, and he kind of chuckled at first, but then came right out and said that he'd like to someday be governor. So is that something that you want to see eventually in your political career, or is town politics where you like being?
I enjoy town politics because, again, I enjoy making a difference.
Mm-hmm.
And I will say, in the most humble terms as possible, I have a lot of support. So
Good.
If that support base ends up, really creating an opening for me to move further and, be able to make an even bigger difference, then I would certainly pursue that.
Great.
But as for now, I'm going to stay focused on the local politics,
Mhm.
and we're going to accomplish some things here. And then, again, if something opens up in the future, I would certainly be open to that opportunity.
Did you, one final question that I'm just curious of asking you, Jason, did you run into any obstacles along the way? Nick was very frank in sharing that even with small town politics, sometimes there was a little bit of, dirty campaigning that he had to fight through with opponents. Did you run into anything like that, or was it a fairly smooth ride?
I don't want to say it was a fairly smooth ride, because I don't believe any campaign is a fairly smooth ride.
Right.
I do believe there were some people out there not necessarily saying negative things about me or the team, but there were some moments where I was a little concerned that they may not have always been completely truthful in the things they were saying about themselves.
Yeah.
And so you gotta watch that. However, I also do feel that the community, we have had some things in this campaign that have been overwhelmingly supportive. One of those things is, typically a local election like this in Slatington anyway is not always the best turnout on an off-presidential election year. And we had, an overwhelming amount of people coming out in the primaries. We ran a very successful multi-candidate write-in campaign in the primary. We were very successful at that, which is not always the easiest thing to do. And then we had, all the same people that came out and overwhelmingly supported us in the primary were right back out at the polls in the general election to make sure that they saw it through. So we had some, we couldn't have asked for more support than we got in this election.